Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Priscilla, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some strategies for raising bilingual children. I want to take the time to tell you what are some of the things that have been working for our family. I speak to my children in Portuguese, and even though I homeschool, and during a lot of our homeschool lessons, I speak to them in English, I try my best to speak to them in Portuguese as much as possible. So these are the strategies that have helped us maintain Portuguese alive in our home. I know that raising bilingual kids can sometimes feel overwhelming, and you might wonder, am I doing enough? Am I doing it right? But the truth is, you don't have to do it perfectly. None of us can actually do it perfectly. But small, consistent steps make a huge difference. And over time, you will see improvement in your child's ability to understand and to speak your target language. So let's go ahead and dive in. So, the first strategy is to create a language rich environment. What do I mean by that? Well, this means surrounding your child with Portuguese, in my case, or whatever your target language is, as much as you can. You do this through books, through music, through conversation, and just daily routines. Whatever it is that is happening in your home, you can convey those things in the target language. So in our home, we read aloud in Portuguese every day, many times, multiple times a day. Sometimes at bedtimes, sometimes we do it in the morning over breakfast, or even just a quick story while the kids are playing. We try our best to incorporate Portuguese into our daily lives. We also play music in Portuguese, nursery rhymes in Portuguese. So we do this especially in the car or during free play. They hear the rhyme and the sound of the language, and it just becomes part of their daily life. And it's not something that you need to do that's extra or forced. It's just whenever it is that you would be doing that thing in English, you opt to do that in the target language. Another strategy that I've heard has worked for many people is to label things around the house. So the fridge, the door, the table, you put sticky notes all over the house, telling the child what those things are in the target language. That way they can make associations between just the regular environment that they're in and the target language. Another strategy is to be consistent regarding who speaks what. So in our family, I mainly speak Portuguese with the kids, even though some of our homeschool lessons are in English. Even if you cannot do this perfectly, just having a basic pattern helps a child understand that, okay, mom speaks Portuguese. Homeschool literature is in Portuguese. Homeschool geography and history is in English. This helps kids know when and where each language is used. It's okay if they mix it up. It's okay if they answer in English at times, and my children, I'm finding, is doing that quite a bit these days. But the key is that they're hearing Portuguese input from me, and that's what's helping them grow. The third strategy is to make it fun and relational. You don't want your child to have a negative association with the target language. Kids engage more when language is tied to joy and connection, and not just study, right? Formal lessons and obligation, and you don't want it to feel like a punishment to them to have to practice the target language. So in our case, we play games in Portuguese, we sing songs, we do crafts and speak Portuguese as we're doing that, and I'm explaining the steps in Portuguese. Another big one for us in our family is to call and to speak to or have family members visit who speak Portuguese. The kids love to show their family member the things that they do, and show them their Lego constructions, and show them books, and just because they know that the other person speaks the target language, and they want to connect because they love that person and they care about that relationship, they are motivated to actually practice the language. Another strategy is repeat, repeat, repeat. Kids need to hear words and phrases over and over before they actually absorb them. So I don't worry about having to sound repetitive. I describe what we're doing, I name objects, I repeat commands, I use the same phrases in Portuguese regularly. Repetition creates comfort and also helps build confidence for them. Um, that way, they can start using those words and those phrases for themselves. Now, the fifth strategy is to use everyday routine in your language learning process. Language learning doesn't have to be a special, separate time, right? You can use Portuguese during meals, during bath time, when they're getting dressed, when you're cleaning up, all the regular day to day activity that your family is already doing. You can talk about those things and do those things in Portuguese. For example, when we're cooking, I talk through the steps in Portuguese. I might say to my 3-year-old, agora vamos cortar a cebola. Now we're going to chop the onions. Or I might say, please go get me this utensil, right? And I'll give the command in Portuguese. So these small moments do add up because they're part of real life, and the target language becomes part of real life, not this separate thing that we're learning on the side. The sixth and final strategy is to be patient and to keep it positive. As I said, kids need to associate the language with fun and joy and something that's positive, right? It's okay if they're forgetting things. It's okay if they're trying to respond in Portuguese, in English. That's normal. Instead of pushing or correcting too much, I try to gently encourage and praise their efforts. Our goal is not perfection. It's building a bilingual home where they feel safe and loved using both languages. And I confess that sometimes this is very, very hard for me. The patience part is very hard, especially when I know that they know the term, the language, the particular sentence in Portuguese, but they're not saying it in Portuguese. It's easy for me to get frustrated, but that gets us nowhere. So, just to recap, the 6 strategies are to create a language rich environment, to be consistent with who speaks what, to make it fun and relational, to repeat, repeat, repeat as many times as you need to for them to learn that new idea, the new phrase, the new vocabulary, to use the language in everyday routines, and to be patient and positive. If you're on this bilingual journey too, I would love to hear your tips. Please share them in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, if any of it was helpful to you at all, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more encouragement. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.